Spoilers for Coco, and implied spoilers for just about every other biopic, but the spoilers that you know going in. Who would have guessed that Elvis would become a famous musician? For the past year or so, I've been really interested in the idea of not making it. I have pretty ambitious dreams, primarily of making it in the film industry, and for whatever reason, I'd always assumed that just by having a dream I could make it as a filmmaker. It's only over the past few years that I've started to realize how unrealistic that actually is. I only partially blame myself because, to be fair, I'm the type of person who fantasizes about my goals beyond the point of them being attainable, but I also blame pretty much the entirety of Hollywood movies. If you watch a Hollywood movie about chasing success in a career, particularly of fame, the movie more often than not will tell you that you'll make it if you try your best. A lot of these are biopics, so achieving fame is a given, but even the ones that aren't still have the protagonist achieve their dreams. There are a couple of reasons for this, but none of those are really important for this video. What is important is that most media you consume is telling you that you can 100% definitely achieve success guaranteed, when I and you and all of us most likely can't. This is genuinely terrifying to me, though, because of how much fantasizing I've already done. By the time I learned that success isn't a given, the damage was done. I honestly had a hard time even imagining what I would do if I couldn't be the next Spielberg. And then I watched the movie Coco. Well, more accurately, I read a review on Letterboxd for Coco earlier this year. The review was by YouTuber Coley, and it said, "I love that this is the rare Disney movie that truly wrestles with the idea that greatness is not always something to aspire toward." That's only half of the review. The other half fairly critiques the class system of the afterlife in this movie, but that's neither here nor there. The important thing is the part about greatness, because like Houston said, Coco, unlike most Disney movies, and I'd argue most movies about chasing fame, argues that fame isn't all that matters. And this really got me thinking about Coco, success, and my own goals in life. Coco is a movie wholeheartedly concerned with fame. I honestly have to question my own critical thinking if it took me this long to figure that one out. Miguel wants to become a musician, and he's guided by the words of Ernesto de la Cruz, "Seize your moment." He is ready and eager to completely give up on his family, because to him, they're just an obstacle in the path of his success. And yet, when the film cuts to credits, Miguel hasn't followed in Ernesto's footsteps. Coco feels like the film version of the antithesis of the American dream. Or, in not big words, Coco breaks down the ideas made popular by the American dream, the idea that success can come to anyone who works hard, the idea at the core of almost every Chasing Your Dreams movie you'll ever watch. It doesn't critique chasing fame because of the more than likely possibility that you'll never make it in a big industry like music. Instead, it critiques the very idea of chasing fame, of wanting to be remembered and revered by hundreds of millions of people you've never met. Fame is portrayed pretty harshly in Coco, given that the film's representation of fame is a character who killed his best friend to achieve it, and while I doubt every famous person has had to kill someone to get where they are, I think that there is some truth to the harshness of which fame is portrayed in the film. Fame in this movie is portrayed as the opposite of family. Miguel's family hates his great-great-grandfather because he ran off and presumably got famous. Miguel in the afterlife runs from his family and toward fame. Fame and family are also the two ways someone can live forever in the afterlife. However, it was on a recent watch that I noticed they actually weren't. In the scene where Hector's friend, Cheech, fades away, Hector says to Miguel that,
"Hey, it happens to everyone eventually."
I think a lot of people, myself included, as I realized while writing this, partly pursue fame or notoriety as a way to sort of live forever. We won't actually be here anymore, but we also will. People will still care about us, the way that people still watch Stanley Kubrick movies, or, in this movie, listen to Ernesto de la Cruz's music. Our thoughts and feelings and hopes and fears can live on and have an impact on people, and I want that for myself. But in the end, we'll all be forgotten. Being forgotten is a great equalizer, the way that death itself is. Everyone will be forgotten eventually, whether you become renowned for what you do or your work is known to few. However, Coco does not pose fame and family as the same, even if they both lead to the same place. Coco very much values family over fame, and in just about every way it's easy to see why. A life chasing fame is a life wasted. If you value your legacy ahead of yourself, you are essentially wasting your life running from death. You won't care about the life you're currently living, you won't be able to enjoy it, even if you beat the odds and actually achieve whatever you set out to achieve. However, caring about the people around you and your lived experience more than your legacy actually lets you live your life. After viewing it in this lens, Coco has become one of the most compelling films I've seen in a while. Though Miguel doesn't technically fail at becoming famous, he just realizes that it isn't all he thought it was cracked up to be. The idea that greatness is not always something to aspire toward helps me in understanding what my goals should be. I don't think that fame is something to despise, and I don't think that Coco is anti-fame. If you can achieve fame while not losing sight of your lived experience and the people who actually care about you, go for it. Instead, the movie critiques the fame at all costs mentality, and that makes it resonate more with me. Regardless of your beliefs, we'll all be forgotten on this earth, and it's important that we care about our lives above our work. Most of us will likely never achieve fame. We won't be household names, and we won't be remembered by society long after we leave this life. But maybe that's okay. Maybe fame isn't all that it's cracked up to be, and maybe being remembered by people you've never met isn't the ultimate goal in life.